Alright guys, welcome to another edition of Technique Tuesday. In this video I'm going to show you how to make a jar with a gallery, okay? A little rim on the inside of your container for your lid to rest on. And I'm going to show you two ways to do this. I'm going to show you how to do it with a slab, and I'm going to show you how to do it with a small pinch pot. You could also do this with a small slab pot, but you know, any way you want to do it will work. So the first thing I want to do, I'll show you the pinch pot first. So I have my what's going to be the body of my jar, the little container portion, the part that stuff's going to go in, and I'm going to take a small piece of clay. It depends on the size of your particular jar, but you really shouldn't need a lot of clay in order to do this. And the biggest downfall of most pinch pots is people starting with too much clay. So my clay is wedged, it's ready to go, so I'm gonna start to shape it into a ball and begin pinching. Now, how domed or how shaped you want your pinch pot or your lid to be is up to you. If you want it to just be a very shallow dome, that's okay. And if you want it to be a very thick dome, or I'm sorry, a very tall dome, that is also okay. So as I'm pinching, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to check size occasionally, and I can see that this is still a little too small. So I'll keep pinching to make it a little wider. Okay, let's check that. And that's pretty close, okay? Alright, that's a good place to start. If I need to make it smaller, if you need to make a pinch pot smaller, what you do is you push in and turn. I'm pushing my hands together and turning, and that will make it a little bit smaller and a little bit taller. So if you go too big with your pinch pot, you don't have to start over. You can just pinch and make it a little bit smaller. So you want your lid to fit down inside the cup part, but be careful not to drop it, because that's going to make your life harder. Alright, so now I've got my little pinch pot made, and I need to add the gallery. I need to add the little shelf on the inside of my cup here. So all you're going to do is take a coil, or you could also make a real skinny slab, and I'm going to attach it on the inside here. So I'm just going to try to mark the inside to get everything nice and straight. So I'm actually holding my left hand still, and I'm turning the cup with my, I'm holding my right hand still and turning the cup with my left hand so that I can get a pretty straight line around the inside of my cup. And that's, I'm going to score and slip. Can you see that little line? I'm going to score and slip right below this line because I want my, my lid to sit down in it. So it's going to be hard for you to see this. I'm going to lay it down on its side so that I can get in there and score easily. Now, trying to score with the rib would be pretty challenging because I have to get inside of this. Now, if yours is a little bigger, this might be easier for you, but you can also score with a needle tool. Don't feel like you only can use those serrated ribs. You can score with a needle tool. Can you see my scoring? You can score with a needle tool too. Just make sure you're getting some significant texture. Okay. So I'm all scored in there. And I will also score my coil. Now I can score this one with a rib because I don't have to fit it inside the cup. And of course I'm gonna slip. So I'm holding, notice how I hold my cup sideways. Just trying to use gravity to my advantage. I don't want a bunch of slip to go down on the inside of my cup. Alright. Let's put some slip on here. And I'm going to cut these ends off so they're nice and neat. This coil is a lot longer than I need it to be, but I can always fit it on the inside. And again, I'm going to lay it down so that I can do this and use gravity to my advantage and not try to fight with the coil the whole time that I'm fitting it in there. Okay. Trim this off. Alright, now this is all wibbly wobbly. It's not straight in there. I just got it sitting there. Now I'm going to take a moment and gently push it in and get it looking nice and straight and level. Okay. So there you go. I've got my little gallery in there. And I'm going to take a sponge and I want to get off any excess slip. I really don't want my lid to get stuck in there because it got stuck to some slip. So now when I rest my lid in there, it sits nicely on the gallery. And there you go. Okay, so that's making it with a pinch pot. You can also do it with a slab. So if you don't want a domed lid, if you want more of a flat lid, you can do this with a slab. Now, the easiest way I have found to do this, because the thing is it has to fit on the inside, and you can't see the inside while you're cutting the slab. So this is what I do. I'm going to take some slip. I am not scoring here. I'm just using some slip, and my slip is going to help me mark my slab. I'll zoom in so you can see a little better. Okay, so I've got slip on the opening of my jar, and I'm going to sit it down on my slab. I'm going to push down and give it a little wiggle. Again, I'm not trying to attach it. I'm just using that slip to mark the slab. So now I can see where I need to cut. Now I did get some wet clay on my jar here, but I can just wipe that off. There we go. All good. And now I can see where to cut. Grab a knife to cut with. Always try to cut with a knife if you can. Needle tools do a pretty terrible job of cutting things. Okay, so I'm going to cut this now. And I'm staying to the inside of my mark because remember, I want my lid to fit on the inside of my jar. And that's it's a little bit big still. So I am going to cut it down a tiny bit more. Not a lot. I don't want to overdo it. I don't want my lid to just fall in. So I'm just going to shave off a little bit more clay here. And then test to see if it fits. Still getting a little bit of resistance on the edges. Let's take it one more time. So this is normal to have to do this. Okay? It's not like you failed or you don't know you're not doing it properly. You just sometimes you gotta do a little fitting, a little tailoring on your lid. Okay, let's try it one more time. There we go, that's pretty good. That fits pretty well. Okay, now you'll notice that it's kind of drooping right now because this clay is very, very soft. So I would take this and I'd go sit it in front of the fan and let it stiffen up some, and then make any final tweaks I need to make it fit on here just right. So that's how to make a lid with a gallery. Remember, your lid needs to be removable with one hand, so I really recommend adding a handle, or you can even just add a little pinch to the top so that I can pick it up with one hand. This is really wet. Okay? So think about how you're going to deal with that handle. Thanks for watching, and I'm looking forward to seeing your jars.